You know, I came on a weekday to this little lake just to avoid the traffic. But now I'm thinking on the weekdays there might be more people than the weekends. Because all of the retired people fish during the week. I've never seen so many boats here on a weekend. Look at this. One on the spillway. Forget about all the bank. One by the tree. Three boats in the shallow water. And then they build houses over there and the fish don't want to bed there anymore. I don't know how, if they ruined the sediment or something. It's not that I cannot catch fish, but I cannot find a corner that has fish and there is no boat in the frame. Anyway, try to find a piece of beautiful bank without too many people, catch a few fish, took half a day off. We gotta make something out of it. The water already looks dead in this lake. There's no oxygen and you can still catch fish, but everything looks very dead. I try to make a few videos here before it kinda gets completely blocked by the algae. This tree should have some fish. Yeah, let's cast here. Beautiful white pearl. Seems like a good color for today. There's one fish. Yeah, they don't really catch the fish, but they drive right on top of them and scatter them. But then when it goes 15-20 minutes, they will come back. Man, my nose is itching so hard from the pollen. Look at this beauty, folks. Look at this beauty. Look at this. If not for the pollen, look at this beauty. Isn't this beautiful? Threw water right in my eye. Okay, let's try to stay positive. I'm a little irritated right now. Not irritated, but you know, a couple of setbacks here. So many boats or kayaks on a weekday. What's the point of taking a day off? What is the point? There's one more. They're all around this tree here. They're all around it. Decent bijik. Decent bijik. Beautiful bijik. Don't get me wrong. But I wish he was like even half an inch bigger, because half an inch of length adds a lot of body meat. You know what I'm talking about? Adds a lot. Tappy tappy. There's one more. Yeah, he went right through here. And I don't know, maybe with a kayak he didn't even spook them. This one is a little duro, but he's already adult. Fish and people Both have been getting adulthood earlier and earlier. I don't know if that's a good thing. I see a few fish on this side. If I can make a gentle cast, but then I have to yank. See, this is why I didn't want to go there. This is why I didn't want to go there. If I'm gonna cast there, I have to cast the float so I can yank. Come here, Bijik. You're in the clear now. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm pulling hard because I can see the fish. I can see the fish is trying to get in the branches of the tree. Wow, good job. 1.7 pound polyester. We yanked on this bluegill. I'm here to confirm. We yanked. It looks like a snag, but it's not a snag. Look. Look at the hook. Look. No foul play. It came off, but it was in the mouth. Hey. Hey. This is better, no? Ah, so they're right in the tree. Victor, you found bluegill in the tree. You are a genius. Who would have thought, Victor, that you can find bluegill in the tree in the spring? You are a true genius, Victor. I can see the comments. There's always one or two people trying to mock me. There's one more. There's one more. There's one more. Decent one. Decent one. Good size bluegill, folks. Don't get me wrong. But in April and May, you expect one or two of them to be bigger. And I've said it several times. The biggest bluegill that I catch, and I've caught, I don't know how many, 9.75 inches, never a 10 incher. But in the winter, females, very long females in the winter, not very fat, but just, I don't know, the females are easier to catch in the winter. I don't know where all the males go. In the summer, you catch males that look nice, juicy, but they're kind of small. They're like, if you catch an 8-incher, 8-incher is a good bluegill. It might be meaty, but you're very far from 10 inches. It's interesting that everybody thinks that the big males is where you get your 10 inchers. But it's actually easier to catch your 10 incher with some very long female. The females, they don't get as tall, and I don't know, they don't protect the beds, they don't lose so much energy. They kind of dump the eggs and go away. It's easier to catch a 10 incher by catching a very long female. There's one more. This is funny. I didn't think there was enough fish here for a video. There was like 5 or 6 fish. I think I caught all of them already. Wondering if I can catch the same fish twice. I think it's possible, if it's on a bed, to catch it twice. Because when you release them roughly in the same area where you caught them, they will find their way to the bed immediately. You can confirm this with live scope. They swim right back there. They have like a perfect GPS. And then, because they're doing their fatherly duties, they can attack a lure a second time. Not because they're hungry, not because you are a great angler. That's what kind of bothers me with people filling up the coolers in the spring with these big males. thinking I'm such a good angler, posting on Facebook, cooler full of bloody fathers trying to protect their fry and being so proud. Look at how many beds I destroyed. That kind of bothers me. I find it very unethical. Pulling fish that were protecting their fry, tossing them in the cooler. I find this very unethical. I have a big problem with this. The champion told me, well, why don't you find it unethical to stab the fish with a steel wire in the face? If it's unethical, don't even fish. You know, I have to admit that's a good argument. Logically, it's kind of the same thing. Who are you to draw the line? Like, this is a little unethical, this is more unethical. Like, who are you? And I don't know who I am. I'm nobody to draw the line. Everybody draws their own line. Now, for somebody who rarely catches any fish, and he took his grandson and he lucked out and threw on top of some bed and caught a few fish, and he took them home, even I have no problem with that. Taking home a few bluegill, making a good memory, the kid will remember it, and just it's worth the life of a fish to me. I'm not in abstract against it. It's worth the life of a fish, this good memory. And he's not gonna like destroy the lake. But for somebody like me, or somebody who is as good as me, with high-end tackle and high-end electronics, to go and just clean these beds and lakes in the spring and take the kids on the back to play on the iPad just so he can fill the cooler with more fish, that's disgusting. I've seen people do this on one of my lakes that has big bluegill. I take a long drive to catch a few bluegill and make a nice video and just have a good memory. And I see people come there with the catfish boats, big flat aluminum express, and even what was the other brand that makes catfish boats? There was one other brand that makes aluminum catfish boats. People come with the live scopes, with the catfish boats, with the kids on the back. And I can see he put the big cooler, not the little cooler. No, he put the big, huge cooler full of ice right behind him. And he doesn't have high-end tackle, but he has the live scope, and he just drops the 2 talons right in front of the bed. And you don't have to be the best angler in the world, even with bad tackle. You cast on top of a bed something that will fit in the mouth of a bluegill. They will go, and one of these big beds with 100 circles, they're gonna catch the 50 biggest fish out of there. These people are completely unethical. They do not care. They're there for the brutal pounds of meat, and that is disgusting. Going and cleaning out a whole huge bed with live scope. I think if anybody has a live scope, limit should be 5 fish per boat per day. Not per person, per boat per day. It's time, if you don't make live scopes illegal, it's time to put special harvest limits for people with live scope. What is this nonsense? Go there and clean these beds out. I don't want to start a fight on YouTube with one of them, but I've seen them. The kids are on the back of the boat playing on iPad. No interest in fishing. I don't blame him for that. My kids are the same. But he brought the kids just so he can, because that lake with the big bluegill has a limit for bluegill, just so he can fill 3 limits in the cooler. Absolutely disgusting. This video is becoming very negative, but I cannot help it. Somebody has to change this culture a little bit, because the government will not protect these fish. The government will not. The culture needs to change. Or one day you're gonna wake up and it's gonna be like the rest of the world. There is just no good fishing in public water, only in private lakes. That's how the rest of the world is. If you want to find good fishing, you gotta go to a private lake. Oh, kind of an ugly cast. Yeah. I can just tell that this is not the first lure these fish are seeing today. It is the best lure they have seen all day though. That's for sure. That is for sure. They might have seen a lot of lures and be a little nervous and on the edge. Should I eat it or not eat it? But they have not seen a better lure. Alright folks, I'm gonna end this video here. Sorry about the rant. Everybody has their passion, everybody is passionate about something. And jigs is my thing, folks. It hurts me to see people load up cooler fulls of these things right when they're bedding. Every male you put in the cooler, folks, you destroy the entire bed and all of the fish fry, especially if it was a, big, muscular male. The fry would have had the same great genes. At least give it some thought next time you're doing bluegill bed fishing. But anyway, one more time, folks, thank you for watching. I'm gonna go try to find something else now, maybe some spot where nobody has fished this morning, and catch something bigger. But thank you folks for getting to the end of this one, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye folks.